The 2nd Guards Motor Rifle Tamanskaya Division, named after M.I.Kalinin, also known as the Tamanskaya Division, Taman Division and Taman Guards 23,626, is one of the most famous and decorated divisions of the Russian ground forces. The Second World War. The division fought at Smolensk and during the Kerch-Eltigen operation during the Second World War. 127th Rifle Division. The 127th Rifle Division was with 19th Army's 25th Rifle Corps, along with 134th and 162nd Rifle Divisions on June 22, 1941. It formed part of the High Command Reserve. By August, it was with the front troops of the Soviet Reserve Front. 2nd Guards Rifle Division. By October, attached to General Ermakov's operational group of the Bryansk Front. 2nd Guards Tamanskaya Rifle Division. 23rd Guards Tamanskaya Mechanized Division. 23rd Guards Tamanskaya Motor Rifle Division. 2nd Guards Tamanskaya Motor Rifle Division. 5th Guards Tamanskaya Motor Rifle Brigade. From 1991, the division has played a prominent role in two of the major political crises of recent Soviet and Russian history. In 1991, it was one of the divisions deployed in Moscow as part of the hardline coup attempt against the Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev. However, it was a tank unit attached to the division that switched sides at the decisive point in the coup's course. Boris Yeltsin delivered a speech standing on top of Tank No. 110, strengthening his own position significantly, both domestically and abroad. 2 years later, the division once again came to Yeltsin's rescue, during the 1993 Russian constitutional crisis. The standoff between the Russian parliament and Yeltsin, against the backdrop of massive public demonstrations in Moscow against Yeltsin's government, had by the 2nd of October brought Russia to the brink of civil war. Between 2 and the 4th of October, the army considered its position. By sunrise of the 4th, they had given the support to Yeltsin. That day, tanks from the Tamanskaya Division opened fire on the Parliament building, where the Parliament's supporters were barricaded. This episode consolidated Yeltsin's power. It was the deadliest street fighting in Moscow since 1917. Since then, the division has seen service in Chechnya. It is known to have contributed to the force that brought the republic back under Russian control in 1999 and 2000, during the Second Chechen War. A tactical group from the 15th Guards Motor Rifle Regiment deployed to Chechnya in early 2000, serving in the south of the republic and the Irgun Gorge after the end of major combat operations to maintain security. In 2004, it was visited by a delegation of foreign military attaches. The Kalinin space has also recently provided the venue for the Miss Russian Army contest. The division was deployed in the Moscow military district based near Aprelivka, in the Moscow suburbs. Its various subunits occupied a vast complex of buildings and sites to the north and northwest of the town. The two most important sub-bases in the area are Kalininets and Kobyukovo. It was one of the Russian Army's constant readinesses divisions, meaning that it was required to have at least 80% manpower and 100% equipment strength at all times. It was thus intended to be readily deployable. Recent history. On the 22nd of January 2007, the Russian news agency Interfax reported comments from the commander of the Moscow military district, Col. General Vladimir Bacon. He stated that the Tamanskaya Division's 1st Guards Motor Rifle Regiment had been re-equipped with a battalion of T-90 main battle tanks, replacing its old T-80s, a battalion of BTR-80 armored personnel carriers, as well as a battalion of new self-propelled howitzers and C-2 command and control systems. Bacon also said that the regiment's 3rd Battalion had begun re-equipping with the BMP-3 infantry fighting vehicle, of which the regiment as a whole was due to receive 129 by the end of the year. Furthermore, according to Interfax, Bacon stated that the 1st Guards Regiment had already undergone training for operating new materiel. The regiment was the first in the Russian army to successfully master new arms and materiel. Last year, the regimental personnel were graded highly on the performance, he said. This rearmament may represent the first publicly known deployment of the T-90 in the Russian army outside of the 5th Guards Don Tank Division, based at Kyakhta in the Siberian military district, which has been entirely equipped with such tanks in recent years. There have been rumors in circulation for some time now that all the T-90s currently in service were to be accumulated in the Tamanskaya Division, but these rumors lack reliable sources. If any such move is to occur, it may take place in 2007, but January's partial rearmament of the division does not seem to signal the beginning of such a move, since the T-90s and other modern armored vehicles now with the division are newly purchased ones. The division has been slated for disbandment in 2009, with 2 brigades being created from its existing subunits. Each brigade will include about 7,500 personnel, with one mounted on BMP-3 tracked vehicles while the other using BTR-80 and BTR-90 wheeled vehicles. The 2 brigades, according to Warfare Ru, are the 5th Separate Guards Motor Rifle Brigade in the Moscow Military District, and the 8th Separate Guards Mountain Motor Rifle Brigade in Chechnya. Disbandment and reactivation. The division was disbanded in mid-2009, being split into 2 new motor rifle brigades. After 2009, the main successor of the division was the 5th Guards Separate Order of the October Revolution, Red Banner, Order of Suvorov Brigade named after Kalinin. The division was reformed in 2013 by order of Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, and will consist of the 5th Separate Motor Rifle Brigade, the 4th Independent Tank Brigade and other unnamed units. This order is pursuant to Russian President Vladimir Putin's intention to strengthen the historical continuity of the Russian armed forces by resurrecting the names of famous, legendary units and formations of the Russian and Soviet armies. Another division, the 4th Guards Kantemirovskaya Tank Division, was also reinstated under the same order. As of June 2015, the Russian armed forces are planning to rebuild the famous Soviet-era 1st Guards Red Banner Tank Army by including the 2nd Guards Motor Rifle Division, 4th Guards Tank Division, as well as 1 Tank and Rifle Brigade. The decree providing for the reformation of the force was enacted in the winter of 2014, and it's now a part of the Western Military District. Unlike the original 1st GTA, the 2nd Guards Motor Rifle Division forms a part of the revived army, based in Moscow Oblast. Subordinated units and fighting strength. As of 2004, the Tamanskaya Division consisted of the following units: Division HQ 136th Guards Reconnaissance SF Battalion, Kalinets 1174th Anti-Tank Battalion, 211th Guards Engineer Battalion, 614th NBC Defense Battalion, 47th Guards Signals Battalion, 190th Maintenance Battalion, 1063rd Supply Battalion, 370th Medical Battalion, 1st Guards Tank Regiment, Cherkovsky in Kalinets, 1st Guards Motor Rifle Regiment, Sevastopolsky in Kalinets, 15th Guards Motor Rifle Regiment, Shavlinsky in Kalinets, 283rd Guards Motor Rifle Regiment, Berlinski in Kalinin, 147th Guards Artillery Regiment, Sevastopolski in Kobyukovo, 1117th Air Defense Regiment, Kobyukovo. Overall, the division numbered around 12,000 soldiers. Its principal vehicles were the T-90 and T-80 main battle tanks, BTR-80 armored personnel carrier and BMP-2 and BMP-3 infantry fighting vehicles.